Hello everybody, welcome to today's second set between LRM and NB. I am Hacklebeast and this is Twitch TV Gambit Cup, sponsored by Twitch TV, Nerbopolis, and Prowler. For the first set, we have LRM Bakuryu as the purple Zerg, top left, and we have NB Terror as the white Terran, bottom right. Now, Terror loves to be really aggressive, so we'll probably be seeing a 4 racks or a 5 racks out of him. Just wants to get a lot of Marines out early, wants to put pressure on his opponent. But Bakuryu's pretty good about knowing exactly how much you need to deflect that kind of pressure. So I'd say almost Bakuryu's is a pretty good counter to this style. At the same time though, Bakuryu does tend to get a little bit greedy. Not economic wise, but tech wise. He loves to get that really fast tech. And against an opponent who's going to put a lot of pressure on you early, sometimes you can just not build quite enough lurkers or quite enough zerglings to give you enough time to get to the later stages that you're hoping to get to. But we shall see. Terror's thrown down his barracks. Bakuryu has not thrown down his spawning pool yet, and it looks like he's saving up to throw down the hatchery. Wait, Bakuryu, are you spoiling the results in the chat, man? Don't spoil the results in the chat. I think you're the only mod, so I can't ban you, but don't do that. Alright. So, Terror with the run racks FE. Not quite yet. Doesn't have enough money for it. And the CVC is confused. Just like double backed, did a spin around there, and then back to mining. So that's cool. Oh, it was here. Awesome. So I can ban Bakuryu. It's good to know. So, Bakuryu's spawning pool is finished. I'm probably gonna build. No, he's not gonna build any Zerglings initially. Interesting. He's gonna go very Zergling light. He already was going 12 hatch, so his Zerglings were gonna be pretty delayed, but not even building Zerglings after that. Still not building Zerglings. There we go. Finally something. Interesting. Meanwhile, Terror getting his refinery, getting his second barracks. So he's going to get those upgrades out nice and fast. Meanwhile, Bakuryu going for pretty much the fastest 3-hatch Mutalisk possible. Should probably send that Zergling to attack the SCV. There we go. Alright. So, Academy being thrown down. He'll have the resources to be able to get the upgrades as he needs them. Only 2 barracks so far, but he should be throwing down some more relatively soon. Probably just about as the Academy finishes and he starts that first upgrade. Be right around the time to start throwing down barracks 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Bakuryu's lair is about 30% done. Still haven't killed this SCV though. Good job by Terror to manage to keep the thing alive so long. I don't know what's going on anymore. I have no idea what's going on in the chat. It's fine. That's fine. I don't need to know. Anyway, Lair's finished. Spire should be started. There we go. Just about now. And it looks like Terror's going to move out with his first squad of Marines and medics. Bakuryu is throwing down some panic sunkens. This one certainly will finish in time. The other ones might not. There's still only creep colonies, about 75% of the way done now, but these Marines are already more than halfway across the map. Where are the Firebats that were accompanying them? The Firebats are a little bit farther behind. Normally you want the Firebats to tank the shots. Scans to see that the sunken colonies are still morphing, but no, it looks like the sunken colonies are just going to finish in time. As I said, Bakuryu is very, very good with his timings on knowing when he needs to build stuff to just barely not die. But still, will 3 Sunkens be enough? Probably will. But is Terror going to try anyway? We'll have to see how much longer till the Spire's done. The Spire still has a little bit of time to go, about 80% of the way done now. And Bakuryu has been banking a lot of gas, so he will be able to get out his full complement of Mutalisks once that finishes. Meanwhile, Terror continuing to chug along, getting his +1, getting his range, getting his 3rd barracks. But just going to sit out here with these Marines, Medics, and Firebats. They're a little bit vulnerable for when the Mutalisks pop, so I'm curious what he plans on doing with them. I guess they're no other place to put them at the moment. Might as well shoot at some Zerglings. Bakuryu, being cute. I don't know if he meant to force a stim, but he did. Alright. And the first Mutalisks have popped, so he should be sending them. There we go. Should be sending them pretty soon now. One more Mutalisk on the way, and the Hydralisk den as well. So he'll be going for a quick Lurker follow-up, not going to commit too much to the Mutalisks. But he still can do a good amount of damage with just the initial 9. Lurker aspect started immediately. Turrets are going to be down in time for Terror. So it's going to look like Bakuryu's going to need some pretty good Mutalisk control to do damage here. Let's see what he can do. That's not good Mutalisk control. But it's fine. Didn't lose any. Didn't lose any. He almost lost this one. It's down to 4 health after recovering some. But Nep, using the cliff to good advantage, taking out the isolated turrets. And, oh, there goes the injured one. But now he's going to be able to get some very nice kills on the Marines, forcing Terror to come back with the rest of his units. Nice use of scan, getting a couple extra shots off. Unfortunately, Bakuryu was a little bit too far back for that to be super effective, but sometimes Zergs don't pull their Mutalisks back all the way. Meanwhile, Terror getting his starport, getting barracks number 4. +1 has just finished now, and with that high of a Marine count, I'm not sure if Bakuryu's really going to be able to do much with these Mutalisks. Oh, Michael, excuse me, not Michael, Terror. Terror's moving across the map with his forces. Bakuryu has his super fast Queen's Nest, as he does like to get, but hasn't quite gotten that Hive, which is the result of the Queen's Nest. He's certainly not going to go for Queens. Now, where are the Lurkers out? Because he could really use some Lurkers at this point. He threw down an extra Sunken. The Hive just started now. 3 Lurkers at his 3rd, which hasn't even finished yet. So that one will be safe, but he has to worry more about his main right now. Ooh, that Lurker was hidden. 3 Lurkers here, it looks like it's going to be enough. Terror moved out with a very large Marine force, but no science vessels, no tanks. Means that he's probably not going to be able to deal with them. And actually, by the time he gets science vessels and tanks over there, Defiler tech will probably be done. Siege tank, halfway done. Siege mode, about a third of the way done. And Terror has a very scary Marine force here, but with no tech, there's not much he can do with it at this point. Looks like he's going to head back, trying to take out the 3rd, but 3 Lurkers at the top of the ramp is going to shut that down very quickly. Not to mention, there's a good number of Mutalisks overhead. Nope, getting to scan the top of the ramp, see the lurkers, back off. So Bakuryu, as I said, not building very many units at all. I mean, he's built 9 Mutalisks, even less lurkers, and not many more than 9 Lings this game. And he's completely safe so far. Doesn't have the best of an economy, but he does have that very fast hive and Defiler tech. I'm guessing this is going to be Defiler tech. Boom, Defiler tech. Even before his opponent gets a science vessel out. So, Bakuryu coming back to do some harass. He does have the option to go Guardians. He hasn't lost many Mutalisks. It wouldn't be a completely ridiculous decision at this point. And this cliff is very nice for Guardian usage, if he was to so choose. Nope, not getting the Greater Spire. Does have a nice canal down, though. We'll build the other one over here, most likely. Anyway, Terror's Force still sitting outside Bakuryu's natural, and while that force can't do anything at the moment, once these 2 siege tanks link up with it, then all of a sudden it becomes a very scary army to be feared. Some Scourge out for Bakuryu, just gonna try to pick off the vessel. That would be a very nice hit if he could get it, which he did. Didn't see it, but I heard it. That science vessel was way too far away from his forces, and now Terra's going to have to use scans. But there are a lot of lurkers that Bakuryu's made, so scans might just not be enough for 2 siege tanks. Ooh, that was a very costly mistake for Terror to lose that science vessel. But now Bakuryu's just going to force lots and lots of scans and make it so that Terror's going to need to bring another science vessel up. Here comes the second one. Is it going to be sniped as well? Does he have Scourge? He doesn't have Scourge immediately out there, but he can certainly make it. Defiler tech is now out. And it looks like Bakury is going to go for the counterattack now that Consume finished. Irradiate on the Defiler, it does have enough energy for only a single swarm, and it gets it down, not in the best of positions. Terra's just going to run away from that, head over to the third. Bakury does have some Scourge, has some Lurkers, but more importantly has the Nidus Canal, so he can get another Defiler over there if he has one in his base. Ooh, loses one of the Scourge. Not going to be able to snipe the vessel anymore, and oh no! Stimmed Marines take out all the Mutalisks and actually take out all the Lurkers because they burrowed so late. A costly mistake from Bakury, and now he has absolutely nothing here. He cancels the fourth, and I don't know how he's going to save this base. He's bringing in a lot of Lurkers, 8 Lurkers now, but 9 Lurkers, 10 Lurkers. Well, I guess he's just going to be able to hold it with just pure Lurker. But there are 2 siege tanks with the Science Vessel. He needs to get a Defiler out here, because these Lurkers won't be able to stand up forever. But he sieged one of the siege tanks too close. Oh, that's a pretty big mistake for Terror now. He lost a third of his tank force, and oh, so close. Only 10 hit points left. If he's able to snipe that other siege tank, that would have been huge. The Nidus Canal has gone down, so now he just has the Defiler along with a lot of Lurkers to work with at this point. Other side of the map, small pocket, and oh, a radiation going down on the Defiler. He's going to be able to consume a drone and cast 1 swarm, and the Lurkers are going to run up underneath it. The Lurkers aren't quite in range of the tanks. It looks like Lurkers on the other side, not protected by the swarm, going to be taken out by the Marines pretty easily, and an attack from behind is going to take out the final, is going to take out the tanks, but there are enough Marines here that 2 Lurkers might not be enough. Here comes more reinforcements for Bakury. Lurkers running into the Marine line, and he only gets 1 of them, so it looks like, yes, Bakury will just barely be able to save this base, but at what cost? He lost a Defiler, he lost all of his Mutalisks, he lost so many Lurkers, I want to say excess of 20 Lurkers. He lost all of his drones, he was forced to cancel this expansion. So it was a significant hit, and no, he doesn't save it. Swarm does not protect buildings from fire, so the Marines had nothing else to shoot at but that. Oh, very unfortunate break for Bakury, still managing to lose it. Alright then. That's cool, man. Whatever. That tank was a jerk, man. He was stealing people's tater tots in the mess hall, man. He needed to be shown what was up. Baki, you get in the Ultralisk Cavern, but he's only on 2 base at this point. He really doesn't have the gas to support it. Trying to establish he's trying to establish 2 bases at this point, but without Nidus Canals, he's really going to have a hard time defending them. 74 supply compared to 142 for Terror. It looks like Terror is in a pretty good position. Zerg's behind in supply normally. Bakuryu is behind even more in supply normally. But this is a bit too much of a deficit, it looks like, for Bakuryu to come back from. But in this matchup, one good swarm and a misclick from Terran to A-move through it can result in a swing in favor for Zerg. Swarm going down, Terror doing the appropriate reaction, gonna be able to kill off a lot of the Zerglings. Bakuryu, you're even more supply behind even more in supply normally because you go for such fast tech. Your economy's always bad compared to most Zergs because you get super fast Defiler mounts. And it doesn't recover. Bakuyu's tech is fast because he starts his Queen's Nest before he starts his 3rd. This isn't rocket science here. Bullshit. Your tech is fast. Dude, we just saw Michael play a PvT. His Defiler Mound wasn't that fast. You get your Defiler Mound out like the same time your Terran gets out Science Vessels. That's not normal. Alright, so looks like Stim Marine's going to be able to take out the only 2 Sunkens here. He doesn't have a Nidus Canal, so odds are pretty slim that he's going to be able to get reinforcements to save it. Trying to pull out the drones, but Stim Marines take out drones very quickly, and that base is certainly going to go down. Bakuryu hasn't populated this base. This base couldn't be kept safe, so still just capped on 2. Oh man, that's a lot of idle SCVs. Bakuryu does have a chance in the sense that Terror hasn't been expanding terribly frequently, but at this point he really doesn't need to that much. I mean, it's 160 supply compared to 70. Oh, that's just mean. There's no need for that. That actually kind of angers me, man. I don't like tankable naturals. I just think they're excessive, and only one race is allowed to use them. I mean, you can storm drop them, I guess, but the storm putting High Templar up there and putting Lurkers up there just aren't as effective as siege tanks. Anyway. Excuse me, Terror pokes in, but going to be turned away by a lot of swarms and a good amount of lurkers too. So going to devote his attention to the other side. There's a Defiler here, more lurkers there. Terror really hasn't had many Science Vessels this game, and some of them have been getting Scourged, but not terribly many. And he's gonna get Scourged again. Oh no, not quite. Science Vessel's just barely able to get back. Oh, more units coming out of the Nidus Canal. Defiler gets there just in time to cast 2 more swarms, and that should. And yeah, that's going to be it. There's no siege tanks here, so Terror's going to be forced to pull back once again. He's having a lot of time he's having a really tough time closing out these bases of Bakuryu. He did take out the top right once earlier this game, but other than that, his enormous army hasn't been able to do as much as you would expect. But it looks like he's going to stop this expansion once again. Alright. Looks like Terror's loading up a dropship. 6 Marines, 2 medics. He's scanning in here to see that there's not enough immediate units around, but he's morphing a lot of Zerglings. Is it going to be enough? It looks like everything's going to unload before the Scourge get there. No, not quite. He didn't get the medics out. That's going to help out a lot. Going to make it pretty easy for the Zerglings to clean that attack up. Are there any lurkers? Yes, there are lurkers, but they're not quite covered under the storm yet, so the siege tank should be able to get a little bit farther here. Science vessels irradiating just the Defiler. And oh, very nice swarm placement, going to once again force back the Terran. The Terran just cannot seem to close this out. Bakuryu has now established a 4th, so he's on 4 bases, but 85 supply on 4 bases. Compared to Terror, who is maxed. Well, yet another swarm goes down. So with Terror's using all his energy irradiating Defilers, which he should be doing, because Defilers are a more high priority target. But at the same time, it means that he's really having a lot of time dealing with these lurkers. He's now able to irradiate these lurkers, but he's used up almost all of his energy. And if there's another lurker that comes through the Nines Canal, then all of a sudden, once again, he can't move in. And that's a huge pack of medics. That's like an entire control group of medics. Where's the lurker? Lurker. Yep, he didn't quite see that lurker when moving in. So the lurker's gonna be able to go down, but the swarm ends, and there's not another Defiler here, so it looks like Terror is finally just going to be able to A-move his way through. Even a Hydralisk coming out. The Nines Canal has gone done. There's not another Nines Canal up there. So it looks like Terror will be able to break through this. Bakuryu caught without Swarm just for a moment. And is there anything he has in response? Not really. Not looking good. One Sunken being made, a bunch of Hydralisks and a Defiler, but the siege tanks there are going to mean that even if the Defiler does get out, the swarm won't matter. And there's no way this base is going to be saved. Bakuryu trying to sneak a hidden base right next to the Terran. He's going to throw down a Nines Canal, and if he manages to get the Nines Canal down, it'll be somewhat safe, but not terribly. Still max supply for Terran, 35 supply for Bakuryu. He's lost just about all of his drones. This is pretty much it for him. Just the few that are here. Is he really going to try to transfer across the map? Oh, no. He's transferring him up here. Alright. So, once again, this base is going to be taken out. All the drones with it. Bakuryu finally GG's after a double drop in his main. And NB Terror takes game 1. Alright. Oop, I haven't saved the files yet. Not bad. Let's do that. Darn it, put him in the wrong spot. Okay, set 2, 3, and 4. Put them in the folder. Continue. 2-minute break while I go get myself a water. That's good. Man, I love water. Alright. Set number 2. Let's see who LRM sends out next. I'm guessing a Zerg. Alright. We have LRM Choosy. Alright. LRM Choosy, race picking PVs. Wait. He plays PVT? I thought he played ZVT. I mean, Terror isn't very good TVP compared to TVZ, but I didn't know Choosy played this matchup. Interesting. Alright, well, let's see what he can do. PVT on Tau Cross. Excuse me. I'm assuming Terra knows his opponent's Protoss, and that Choosy didn't just sneak that in. Well, if he doesn't know it, he's about to find it out soon, because Choosy is scouting in the correct direction. And nothing special from either player yet. Terror throwing down Barracks first. Choosy throwing down a Gateway first. Ooh. Ooh. Gas steal. How scandalous. A gas steal delays what you're doing a little bit, but it does prevent Terran from getting out that factory too quickly. So if you want to go for some aggression and Terran wasn't planning on going for fast expansion, it can delay them significantly. And actually, that's what Terror tends to do. He likes to get out his really fast vultures. So I like the decision to gas steal against him if you want to put on the pressure instead. Oh, and you're even going to steal a blob of gas. Oh man, that's... Okay, I know it's called a Manor Gas, but Manor Gas isn't really BM. When you start taking the gas from the Manor Gas, that's pretty BM. Anyway, Choosy getting the very quick Cyber Corp, so he'll have Dragoons at his opponent's base pretty quickly here. And the first Marine is out, forced to chase the probe a little bit. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did you see that shenanigans? Did you see that, man? He took the gas, then mined minerals, then went back and took more gas. Oh. You... Choosy. Choosy, man, that's not cool. Don't be stealing people's gas and minerals at the same time, man. Anyway, alright. Juicy has thrown out his second gateway. Dragoon on the way. Whatever Terror wanted to do at the front is going to be pretty delayed, and actually he's only has halfway to enough gas to turn on the factory. So the first Dragoon coming out is going to be pretty significant. It is only one Dragoon though. Terror should be able to hold it off with 5 Marines. But once the next 2 Dragoons come out for Choosy, Choosy might have an opportunity to do some real damage before tanks get out. Is he going to be able to get the SCV? He should be able to get the SCV. There we go. Now, excuse me. Range about 60-70% done. And Terror is going for the 2 fact, man. Needs to make up time lost on the double. And not surprising at all coming out for Terror. Terror is a player more than just about anybody. I'd say only Project rivals him. Is his love of vultures. Terror floods the map with vultures and just lays mines everywhere. He's doing constant harass in both TVP and TVT. So not surprising at all from him to see him go for a 2 fact. Somehow I wouldn't be surprised if he would got the machine shop at 1 and then didn't build. Excuse me, he got the machine shops down and then didn't build tanks out of either one of them, just so he could get super fast vulture upgrades. Probably not, but wouldn't be horribly surprised if he did, because that's just the kind of player he is. Anyway, range is finished for the goons, so he should be able to. Excuse me. So he should be able to range the bunker. But he's gonna wait for a few more goons to come up. Nope. He is going. He's building 2 tanks first. That would be the nice safe thing to do to counteract the goons. He hasn't started siege mode yet, so with that many goons, he is in jeopardy of being sniped. He does need to be careful not to allow any of the goons to die, and the goons aren't actually going to range the bunker properly. They're just going to A-move in. They do take out the bunker, but they take a lot of hits in the process, and 1 Dragoon goes down. I'm not sure that was entirely necessary for Choosy. I think he's getting a little bit sloppy with that, but now he's starting to micro better, picking off Marines, and now pulling back that there are 2 tanks, but Terror's leading with one of those tanks. If Choosy was to turn around, he could snipe it. Is he going to realize it? I think he is. Yeah, he's going to be able... No. Yes. No. Yes. Choosy very indecisive with his goons. But nope, the opportunity has been lost. He's going to pull back now. Terror now has his Marines in front. And Choosy is actually still... He's now going to turn around and be aggressive, picking off 3 more Marines. Terror built a lot of Marines this game. And yet another tank to add into this. This is now starting to become a very scary army, and SCV is being brought too. And Choosy is backpedaling pretty fast, but he's about to run into his own natural. How much longer till siege mode's done? Has he still not researched siege mode? No. Vulture speed just started. So he's now going to switch to vulture production, but he has been investing all of his money in siege tanks so far, and now spider mines. Meanwhile, Choosy now getting out his observatory, so he can start to make the observers, which will start pretty soon now. There we go. And Terror with a very fast 5 tanks. Once he starts to get his vultures in, he has both of his upgrades researching. It's going to be a very, very scary push. Choosy very far away from any kind of tech. I mean, other than Reaver tech, but he's not going to go Reavers at this point in the game. Oh, we'll see what he's able to do with it. And Terror is still producing Marines. He has built a very large number of Marines this game now. I want to say like 2 control groups worth. He's lost quite a bit of them so far, but he still has, excuse me, he still has 7 with an 8th being made. Rather interesting. Anyway, siege mode now being done. And I think Terror's just going to wait until siege mode finishes and then start to push out. Meanwhile, trying to get aggressive with these vultures. Laying mines out right in the walking path of the Dragoons. And going to attack the Nexus, but not going to be able to do too much. Oh, nice move by Choosy. Drawing the mine out, able to snipe with the other ones. Now, unfortunately, this map can be very hard to defend against Vulturecrafts just because it's so open. And even when you make a pylon wall, you can still park vultures here and stop them from mining the top spots. Choosy attacking from a very nice angle, and it's separating, separated Terror, but a nice mine hit and enough siege tanks. Choosy might have gotten a little bit overextended there. I'm not sure if he can afford to be cutesy with the goons, but we're gonna see. He's coming in with a huge attack from the other side. The tanks are not in siege mode, and the tanks are not in siege mode. Is this going to be enough? Choosy with the very nice surround, and Terror with his very scary-looking army. Looks like he may lose it? There are only 2 tanks left. Most of the goons have gone down. Another tank coming in, and no, Terror's still going to be able to win this fight. And Choosy might end up losing his third. The siege tanks are already there, and they are now in siege mode on the bridge. I don't think that's quite in range of the Nexus, but he's going to be able to do enough damage otherwise. 2 more factories going down. More tanks being produced. Terror really getting aggressive at this stage in the game. No. Oh, it looked like the tanks are in range. I can't quite get them both on... Oh, I can get one of them on screen with the Nexus, but the other one, not. I can't. Oh man, that's such long range. But the Nexus is certainly going to go down. Choosy loading up 2 Dragoons? You can try to do Dragoon bombs? There is a mine in a good spot. Terror does have some issues with that. In a lot of his games, he produces so many vultures, but then he dies to mines. Vulture tries to sneak in, but then doesn't. The tanks are unsieged now. If Choosy wanted to attack, this might be a good time, but nope. The tanks are going to pull away. So manages to take out that base for free. Meanwhile, Choosy now has a Citadel done and just started Zealot leg speed. Going to be very helpful. Nope, let me vulture die. Terror just now getting Academy. Very late scans from him, but he hasn't needed it yet. Choosy didn't go for DTs or anything like that, and he's certainly still very far away from Arbiters. It looks like Choosy is starting to gear up to once again expand to this third. That is once again a very scary push for Terror, but it's a very tank heavy army, which tends to mean that's a little bit too fragile, especially with Choosy now getting with leg speed. Terror needs to be really careful with his engagements. But that engagement turned out pretty well. 1 Dragoon just barely manages to get out of there. Terror did not lose a single tank. And now he's going to start to produce the vultures that he's known for. Already up to 6 factories and only those 2 original machine shops. So having a tank-heavy army should not be a problem for very much longer. Oh, and Terror is setting up in a very nice position here. He's going to be able to start shelling the pylons at the natural. There's a pretty sizable Dragoon force over on the left side, but it's not enough to engage this. It could be used for a flank. But as it is right now, he doesn't have the second half of the flank ready. Well, maybe he does. Units getting into position. He has to go through the mines first. He's moving through the mines, so the Dragoons are getting a little bit stuck, but the Zealots, this is what I meant. Excuse me. You get some Zealots in with the tank lines, but enough of the tanks are unsieged that he doesn't do a whole lot of splash damage. Dragoons coming in from the other side. Is this going to be enough to break it? It doesn't quite look like it. And mines coming up. Dragoons trying to move back. Yes, he does manage to get some of the Dragoons out of there, but he's He's kind of, in a sense, gone all in with that flank. He really needed that to work. And now that it hasn't worked, he has no units, he has no flanking opportunity left. And that Nexus, I don't know how he's going to be able to defend it. A lot of units running in, trying to do mine drags, and yes, very nice mine drags is going to be able to take out those tanks. But 2 new tanks ready to take their place. This Nexus is almost certainly going to fall, and now Choosy has to funnel all of his units out of a choke, where Terror is going to start building turrets and supply depots. He needs... Oh. He isn't keeping his vultures in the correct position, though. These zealots are doing a lot of damage, and now the dragoons are once again trying to run up. Choosy very conscious of trying to get as much splash damage done on the tanks, and he is able to take out those 2 initial tanks, but he loses a lot of his force, and pulls back with only 3 dragoons. He's now 92 supply compared to 68. Terror establishing a very nice supply lead. This Nexus is still going down. He's being slowly whittled away by the units that pass it by. And is Choosy going to be able to break it this time? No, there are more units coming up. This 1 siege tank in the back is doing a lot of damage and preventing Choosy from completely eradicating the Terran forces out in the front. Very nice positioning. Continuing to build turrets. Does Choosy have a Stargate on the way? No. Does not have a Stargate. Does not even have Templar Archives. He's really stuck tech-wise. Just doesn't have the money to build anything else. Ooh. And these mine hits now doing a lot of damage. The supply depots should help out a lot in disrupting pathing. They do manage to take out the siege tank. There's still a siege tank back here, though, forcing dragoons to get back. They should be able to take out these supply depots if they stay far enough away. And is this going to be the end of it? Terror did take out this Nexus. And yes, it looks like the siege tank is finally going to go down. So that will end Terror's contain, but he's kept Choosy stuck for a long time. Choosy lost a lot of units in that process, and Terror managed to set up his 3rd very, very safely in the meanwhile. No upgrades so far, kind of surprisingly. But here comes a nice big wave of vultures. He's going to lay mines everywhere with those. And if Choosy's not careful, he might even lose some probes to it. He doesn't have the largest dragoon count to try to deter them, especially with that many vultures. Excuse me. So, looks like the Dragoon's not going to walk through minefields. He's going to be able to clear those out pretty easily. And where are Terror's tanks? There are Terror's tanks. Now, this is a pretty hard 3rd base to hold for Terran. Normally, Terran relies on very nice chokes, so that they only have to put a few siege tanks at the 3rd, and it remains relatively intact. But on this base, you have to keep a pretty sizable army around here to make sure it doesn't go down. But Terra does have that sizable army. It's looking very scary at this point. Supply blocked at 130 compared to just under 100 for Choosy. And here comes the next attack from Terror. A very scary attack. The Observer sees it and all the Dragoons are pulling back. Does he still have nothing tech-wise? He still has nothing tech-wise. And he's now out of money in his main. He's running out of his natural, and once again trying to set up this 3rd that has not seen any mining at all so far. Terror has done a very good job of keeping up the aggression and making sure Choosy is playing very reactionary. Dragoons trying to come across the bridge, trying to get a flank off, and once again Choosy with a very nice looking flank, but is it going to be enough? All the tanks siege up. They're doing a little bit of slash damage to each other, but now that's far too much of a core, and at this point when Terran has this many tanks, you need Storm or Stasis. There's just no way around it. They have too much stuff to just have really nice unit control. And Choosy's just relying on really nice unit control at this point. Terror's going to mine up the bridge and then head around around this side to once again take out that Nexus. Oh, mine's getting a little bit stuck. So, this base is going to go down once again. But Terror's now pulling back with most of his units to prevent the counterattack on his main. Will he be able to do it? This is looking like a pretty good attacking angle for Terror. He has his vultures in the right position, and a lot of them are going to die. The siege tanks are pretty well hidden, even though it looked good for Protoss initially. And GG from Choosy. Terror manages to starve him out and wins, taking it 2-0 for Team NB. All right, so game number 4. LRM versus NB. Oh. Wait, was this set 4? I said set 4, but it should be set 3. Did I click on set 3? Now I have to go double check. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be the one, but I'm just going to make sure. Okay, it was. Alright. No harm, no foul. Okay, game number 3. Terror versus, I think it said it was Pike on Icarus. Yes, LRM Pike. Pike on Icarus. So, another PVZ for Terror. He's the purple Terran. Where is purple? How did I miss purple twice? There we go. Alright. So, purple Terran versus the teal Zerg. And this is a pretty good map for Zerg, so I would say Pike has the advantage, assuming that his Mutalisk micro is good enough. But I don't think that should be an issue. Alright. Anyway, Terror was pretty aggressive in his game versus Bakuryu, but it was relatively passive for a Terror game. So we'll see if he gets a little bit more aggressive this time around. He only had he only went for 2 racks in Academy. I was a little bit surprised by that. Anyway, Pike going to scout wrong at first, but the Overlord should head in the correct direction the second time around, so won't be finding his opponent too late. That Overlord scouting in the wrong direction as well. Sending 2 drones in case there was an SCV to try to block, but there is not. And now Terror's finally going to get his scout out. Is he going to... No, he's not going to scout cross. I thought he was for a second. So, Pike with the 12 hatch, Terror with what's most likely going to be a Ronrax FE. Unless he throws down the gas. Nope, yeah, look, it's definitely going to be a Ronrax FE. So, standard stuff for both players so far. Wait. Oh. Talking about how I don't scroll. Yeah, they scroll in Pro League. I was thinking about that, because originally I only scrolled, but then I was like, wait, they don't do this in Pro League, and I was trying to mimic them. So I tried to only pick on the map. But then I realized, wait, picking on the map only doesn't look right. So it's a combination of both scrolling and picking on the map. And while my ratio may be off, it's not just picking on the minimap. So, Terror's moving out with the bunker rush. Pyke already has a creep colony down, so I don't think that this is going to work out for Terror, but we'll see. First Ling's coming out, and they're going to be blocked by the SCVs. Nice positioning. Ooh, very nice positioning by the SCVs. They're still glitching out a bit. Now trying to drone drill through the SCVs, but the bunker is finished, actually. The Sunken Colony still has a little bit of time to go, and it looks like the Sunken Colony won't be able to quite take out the bunker in time, especially with the SCVs helping. So never mind. The SCVs are in fact even going to repair the bunker, and now this hatchery is very much in danger of going down. He cancels his third hatchery, and Pyke's looking like he's in a bit of trouble here. He's trying to snipe. Wow, he actually managed to snipe a Marine with drones. That's pretty sick, but it might not matter because this hatchery is going to go down and Pyke has nothing behind it. He's lost a good amount of his drones already. He's got some Zerglings, but there's nothing he's going to be able to do with his Zerglings. Oh, man. Oh, man, this is going to work. This is going to work. Pyke's so screwed because even once he sends all the Zerglings, it's not going to matter. There's too many SCVs there in a bunker. Oh man, he's even bringing some of his SCVs back home because he realizes he's got this. And oh, that Zergling gets away with exactly one shot left. So yeah, this is what I meant when I said Terror's like a really aggressive player. He's a really aggressive player. So, Pyke's still trying to muster up a large number of Zerglings because that's pretty much all he can do. He's now supply blocked, making the Overlord. But man, he's so far behind in economy. He's being delayed in getting that expansion up now because even once he starts constructing it, he still has to wait for that entire time. And it looks like he does now have enough Zerglings. He's trying to get mass repair on the bunker, but the bunker is going to fall. So the bunker rush has finally ended, but let's see what Pyke's able to do with these Zerglings. He needs to do amazing amounts of damage with them. He's behind 14 supply to 31. And there are enough Marines on the ramp and now 2 fire bats that it's not going to matter. Stim being researched. No medics quite out yet, but he doesn't necessarily need them. I'm interested what Pyke's response is at this point because nothing's gone right. Super fast flare apparently is the answer. Lurker drops, maybe? I mean, it's not even 2-hatch lurker, it's 1-hatch lair. What do you do, man? What do you do from this position? I mean, you know you can survive for a little while longer, but not a lot. Stim's finished, range has just started. Random Marine going to kill a drone. Going to Stim as well and try to kill more drones. I actually have to try to avoid drones because it can only take 3 more shots. GG from Pyke. Alright. 3-0. Is Terror actually going to all-kill LRM? I don't know. I don't know who LRM is sending as their last player, but whoever it is, he's got a pretty good chance to reverse all kill. I mean, LRM has a very good team. But let's see. Let's see who the final player will be for LRM to try to avoid the all kill from Terror. And we have MB Terror versus LRM. Oh, shit. Really? Cole! Cole, your team is depending on you and you're going to 4-pool? Oh, man. Oh, man, Cole. Cole! Like, all of LRM just facepalmed. Simultaneously. Oh, man. Cole does not have the best record with 4 pools. I mean, his 4 pool can't even beat Sail. If your 4 pool can't beat Sail, how are you gonna beat Terror, man? Terror's good at Marines. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know what to say, man. It's a 4 pool. It's a 4 pool. Apparently it's an economic 4 pool because he's droned back up to 5. Well, he's got enough larvae out. Is he really? He doesn't have enough money. Is he gonna have enough money in time? No! It's a 4 pool where he only builds 4 Zerglings at first, and then is able to build the last one. Oh man, Cole! Cole, he's not even 4 pooling right. Oh man. Oh man, Cole. Well, here comes the first 4. SCV's gonna see it. And what's Terror gonna do in response? I mean, that... He's gonna continue to try to build it that far forward. Interesting. This isn't a tight wall. It's gonna be a long time before Marines get out. He's not building it in his base. Really? Really didn't want to build that in your base? Alright. Let's see it, man. You can't repair it if it's under construction. And those Zerglings are probably going to be able to kill off SCVs. I mean, he brought some extra ones so that he could, like, continue building it if one of them gets killed. Oh shit, phone's going off. Phone's going off, but I gotta ignore it. Everybody just ignore the phone. And now barracks has gone down. He's rebuilding a barracks in his main. He's rebuilding his barracks in his main. Oh, he's pulling so many SCVs. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Is he going to be able to complete the barracks? It looks like he's at least going to be able to complete the barracks, but how many SCVs is it going to cost him? How many SCVs is it going to cost him? It's going to cost him all of his SCVs. Holy shit, it worked! Holy shit. Oh. Alright, when I started my cast and I said that I'm probably forgetting something because I wasn't planning on casting today, so I wasn't getting ready in time, I'm thinking that that was what I was forgetting. That I need to unplug the phone. Oh, man. Dude, I can't believe it worked. You didn't even 4-pool right! Didn't even 4-pool right, man. Ah. So, I mean, if you're gonna 4-pool, does that mean he's just gonna, like, 4-pool every game? It's just, like, all kill of 4 pools? Oops, I forgot to put it in the right folder. My bad. I don't know. I don't know what Cole's game plan is, but I'm excited to see it. And we have LRM Cole versus NB Rams. Really? Huh. Huh. Alright, we have another PVT on which Cole is not going to 4-pool. So I'm happy about that. That would have broke my mind if Cole 4-pooled twice. But nope. PVZ on Jade, cross-map positions. And NB using their new player Rams, who may or may not have been on IWL at one point. I don't know. There was some dude on Team Liquid who said, I am Rams. I was never on IWL. Is he the real Rams? We'll never know. He said he's from the Russian Federation in his country. It's a good start. But I could say I'm from the Russian Federation, so... not exactly legitimate. But you know the weirdest thing about that? The weirdest thing about that 4-pool was that Terror and Cole played a show match like 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was either 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Cole beat Terror, and Cole played straight up. Why would you 4-pool? Oh, I don't. Maybe he just really hates the map. That's possible. Whoa. What are you sending me messages for? I need to move my screen overlay to the right like 3 centimeters so the Twitch TV logo isn't over it. What? I don't know what Twitch TV logo you're talking about, but whatever, man. I don't care. I can shift it over. It's fine. Whatever. Boom. Now shift it over. Like 3 centimeters. Which doesn't make any sense to me, because first, I'm an American, so I don't know what the hell a centimeter is. And second, because everything's relative. So, I don't know what size screen you're using, and I don't know if you're full screen or not, so... Maybe this is 3 centimeters? I'll never know. Like 2 inches! Thank you for converting that for me! Now I know that 3 centimeters is like 2 inches. Which doesn't make sense, because 3 centimeters isn't like 2 inches. That wasn't enough. Alright, maybe he was telling me to, like, instead of doing it 3 centimeters, I should do it 2 inches, and he wasn't just correcting me. Or informing me of what 3 centimeters is actually equal to. Still not enough? What the fuck? There. Happy? Just fucking put it here, I don't give a shit. There. Now, jack shit's covering it. Oh, well, he's told me to put it in the middle. Little does he know, I really put it in the middle. Mwahahaha. Oh man, it's cold going 2-hatch at this point. I'm not actually missing anything when doing shenanigans with the overlay. Alright, let's actually do this right. I'm gonna put it under the clock. You know what, I'm gonna put it over the clock. You guys don't need to see the time. Just use a stopwatch if you really care about that shit. Boom. There we go. Alright. So... Alright. So, Rams is going 2-fact against Cole's Mutalisks, which is a pretty risky strategy to do. I mean, there's nothing that's really super safe against 2-hatch Mutalisk, but... I don't know, man. Is he gonna be able to micro the Goliaths correctly? Ooh, he's going for Vulture Speed first. I mean, he hasn't necessarily scouted the fact that Cole's going 2-hatch Mutalisk, but it's Cole, so you know he's going 2-hatch Mutalisk. Well, Vultures can be good against a player who's getting really fast Mutalisks, because you can sometimes force your opponent to be really defensive with their initial Mutalisks, which they can't afford to do in most cases. So, these vultures may work out rather well for him if he doesn't get stuck at the sunken colony. But if he can continuously micro them around at his base, knowing that they are about to have speed. They do have speed. Yep, they have speed now. Knowing that they have speed, if he can just micro them around and keep them alive long enough, then Cole won't get his Mutalisks to Ram's base until Rams already has a good enough number of Goliaths to defend. But we shall see. First 4 Goliaths are out. That's enough of a defense to start. Rams is apparently scouting out for Cole's third, which is a close third rather than taking the traditional third in somebody else's natural or main. And Mutalisks trying to find some damage to do, and there are no defenses in the main other than those Goliaths, which aren't quite in the best positions. Range isn't finished yet, but these Mutalisks are getting a little bit trapped. No, he's going to get out of there in time. Range still has a little bit longer to go, but these Mutalisks are going to be able to find nice pockets of SCVs to hit, but there's only 5 of them. I think he already lost one. So he's not going to be able to do damage that quickly. But the Goliaths are slow, so he doesn't necessarily need to do damage that quickly. And he's going to pull out of there. Rams is starting to get a critical number of Goliaths. There's no way that Cole's going to be able to engage them directly. He just has to avoid them as if he would a pack of stimmed Marines. Meanwhile, still no kills for these vultures. They haven't been able to find this base, apparently. Either that or the Hydralisk blocked them. Cole gathering more Mutalisks. He's going to go in again with a stronger force. There is a couple of turrets up, but that's not really what's going to matter in this. It's just going to matter about the positioning of the Goliaths, keeping them in the right location. And they are not in the right location now. They're going to try to come up the ramp. But Cole's going to back out. He really doesn't want to deal with those 2 turrets. He might have been able to, but by the time he takes down the 2 turrets, the Goliaths would have been in position. So going with the rather safe route here. He draws the Goliaths a little bit out of position, is now going to come back into the main, and that was an SCV left hanging. That's fine. That's fine. Throwing down another hatchery now. Where is the Hydralisk stand? There it is. Ooh. Not going for lurkers. He's gonna go for a Hydralisk army. Hydralisk armies can be good versus mech when you are using them correctly, but they die very quickly to siege tanks. And Cole, very nice job sniping that first siege tank. That can be so big when going Hydralisks. The difference between 1 and 2 siege tanks in battles is amazing. Ooh, taking a lot of Goliath fire, but Goliath fire is something that looks a lot worse than it really is. You have to remember that each one of those shots from a Goliath isn't even as much as 2 Marine shots. So, and that Marine shots are just a small burst when the Goliath fire is long trails of smoke. So it can be rather deceptive exactly how much damage the Mutalisks are taking from them. Oh, manages to snipe. Oh, did he actually kill that? Oh, very nice. Sniping the command center. I do not believe Rams canceled that. And here comes an attack from Cole. That's a good number of Hydralisks. They do have upgrades. Why are you sending me pictures? I don't have time for pictures, hold on. Alright. So Hydralisks are coming down. There's 1 siege tank? Is that the only siege tank? Ooh, that might be the only siege tank. He has siege mode, but with only 1, it's pretty vulnerable to, excuse me, it's pretty vulnerable to sniping from the Mutalisk. And these Goliaths are going to be able to, the Hydralisk is going to be able to push back the Goliaths. Ooh, that could have been a very bad mine, but is taken out. And it looks like the Goliaths are going to be separated from the siege tanks and are going to all be taken out, allowing, most of the Mutalisks have died anyway, but that's a huge blow to Rams. Those Goliaths are not cheap. And it looks like he's going to be able to stop this expansion once again if he keeps away from the siege tanks. But no, it looks like he's coming in for an attack. The siege tanks weren't in the best position. There are enough Mutalisks he's able to snipe the siege tank on the low ground, and it looks like Cole is going to overrun him here. This expansion's gone down again. It looks like he canceled it because the SCV is tucked away. But, oh man, these Hydralisks, there's nothing to defend the tanks, so the Hydras can actually get in there pretty easily. The Mutalisks are really going to help with that. And now there's not much left for Rams here. I think Cole just sealed the deal. He's landing the barracks over there so he can try to produce Marines. Just trying to get any units out at all because he realizes the Dire Straits he's in, he has the money for whatever he can produce, but he just can't produce. He just doesn't have the production facilities to do it at the moment. Hydralisks are actually going to bypass the natural, head down towards the main, and are now going to start attacking the factories. SCVs being pulled. No, it's going to be hard. Pulling SCVs against Hydralisks is not as good as pulling SCVs against Dragoons. 2 more Goliaths come out. One of them is going to be popped immediately. The other one also, no, not going to be killed, just barely living. But there are just more and more units being rallied in from Cole. It's just a matter of time before Rams is whittled away. Producing the tanks what are going to save him. He does have siege mode, as we've seen before, but it's just so hard to get them into positions where they won't immediately die with the Mutalisks overhead. Trying to set up turrets, but that's not going to finish. He still hasn't taken out that expansion. I'm a little bit surprised by that. It's completely free if he wanted to take it out, but if he does take it out, then it's giving Rams a chance to set up a defense in his base. But now Cole finally decides to take this out. And as I said, it's going to be a free expansion for him to take out very easily. Rams is going to try to push up the ramp, but that's going to be a very hard ramp to push up with so many units up top, having to deal with that high ground disadvantage. And the siege tanks are going to be sniped by the overwhelming number of Mutalisks. There aren't enough Goliaths to prevent that from happening, and the Mutalisks can now just start target firing the Goliaths. And that's it for Rams. GG. Cole wins game 2. Cole wins game 2. And now I can look at the picture that Folon sent me. Thank you, Folon. Couldn't you have just not watched it on Team Liquid? I think that would have solved all your problems. Still waiting for the next replay from Awa. God damn it, I have way too many Skype tabs open. Oh, there we go. Alright. Next game. Set number 6. Who does MB have left? They have a lot of good players, but it's a matter of who showed up that day. And we have NB favorite. Oh. Favorite? Versus still LRM Cole. Teal versus White Protoss. And Cole's not going to 4-pool. I feel like I have to say that like every game now. I just have to like look and it's like, okay, Cole is not going to 4-pool. Just going to establish that. Apparently, Favorite has a terrible connection, and Cole is incapable of winning because he can't deal with the lag. Actually, I don't know about Favorite's internet connection, so I cannot verify this. Alright. So, this map is going to be Gladiator, as I misdiagnosed the previous one. But, a PVZ, the high ground spokes make for a lot of, the high ground spokes around really dictate the engagement. Lurkers on the high ground or Dragoons on the high ground can really swing the battle one way or the other. Hatchery, going down for Cole. Looks like he's going to do 12 pool. Ooh. Oh, look at Favorite being so fancy, man. He scouted the 12 pool and then canceled his forge. Alright, wait, hold up. 163 APM, 150 APM. It was 113 a little while ago, and now I started spamming. But I think that's the lowest combined APM I've ever seen in the cast. Because, I mean, I've seen low APM before, sure. But not two people with such low APM. Anyway, rebuilding the forge now and throwing down a gateway. It should be safe, as Cole, as I said, went for the 12 hatch, so his spawning pool is only finishing now. Alright. So, first 6 Zerglings are on the way. There is one forge down, and it's not exactly concealed. So this is a little bit scary for Favorite. Cole can choose to, could choose to attack it or could choose to run by, and he's not building. Ooh, he's now building a Zealot, but that Zealot's not going to quite finish in time if Cole brings all of his Zerglings. Where are the other 2? There were 6. Apparently there are only 4. So never mind about anything I just said. That propulse is going to be enough. No. Modesty comes into the chat. Hey guys, how did Pain do today? Pain did not do well today. They did not play. That's funny. Anyway, Favorite's getting his Cyber Core. Good stuff. Cole's getting his 2-hatch Mutalisk. Oh, wait, no, he has a 3rd. Sorry, just immediately assumed 2-hatch Mutalisk. But he does have a 3rd, so the lair is not a ridiculous option. Could be good. It's probably going to be 3-hatch into Spire, and then adding Mutalisks on from there. Ooh. Favorite went Citadel without Stargate. Interesting, and kind of weird versus Cole, because Cole always goes Mutalisks. I mean, if you know your opponent's not going to be going for air, and you don't necessarily care about taking out Overlords, then doing this can really get your Templar tech out faster. But Cole's gonna have Mutalisks. He's gonna go... Hey man, you could go Dark Archon out of this. Dark Archon plus Storm. Let's see it happen, man. Speed has been started. +1 has not been started, though. So, these will be speed lots eventually. But just sending out the 3, Cole should not be expecting an attack at this point. But he did see them come out. What is the response going to be? He's 1 creep colony going down. That's not going to be enough against 3 Zealots. Spire's not really going to be in time either. And now another creep colony going down. He's pulling all of his probes, but all the probes are behind the Zealots. So they're going to be able to get 1. Is he really not going to get any kills? Wow, it's actually not going to be able to get any kills at all. Very nice drone drill. I mean, excluding the fact that you missed these two, but these two are just going to be annoying, forcing the Zerglings to come back and engage them, and forcing all the drones to move away. And actually, the Zealot's going to get a lot more kills than it should be because the Zerglings are engaging single file, and it gets a drone kill. Now, how much longer till speed is done? Oops, click on the wrong building. Speed just finishing now. And he is going to go for a Stargate, but it's just going to be a delayed Stargate. Rather peculiar. Is he getting +1? He's not getting +1. So he's saving gas that way to be able to afford to get the faster archives and... Double Stargate? What? Double Stargate with +1. Why would you get the super fast speed if you're going double Stargate +1? I don't understand. Whatever, doesn't matter. Lots of Mutalisks are out. Excuse me. Mutalisks are out, and he doesn't have the highest Corsair count. He only has a single Corsair. That's not going to cut it against that many Mutalisks. And the speed lots don't even have +1, so they're not a huge threat. Cole should be able to take them out with Zerglings as he's sending them out piecemeal instead of in a pack of 6. 2 TT's on the way. But this is just a very confusing build from Favorite, in my opinion. Anyway, there are a good number of cannons down, so Cole's going to have a little bit of a trouble finding a spot to hit. Cannons are better anti-air than turrets, so it's not like a TVZ in that regard. Cole has to fear the cannons a lot more. But throwing down a hatchery now. Throwing down another hatchery, so it's going to be a transition into 5-hatch Hydra. These 2 Dark Templars are sneaking out now. The Mutalisk flew right over them, but Cole may not have noticed. He'll certainly notice now that the Overlord is going to see them. Is there detection? There is a detection here in this Overlord, but he doesn't exactly have a lot of defense. But the Dark Templar are stopping. It's going to give that Sunken enough time to finish. But the Mutalisks are going to come back anyway. Cole overshoots them. What? Really? The Overlord couldn't see them? Alright. Anyway, well, here comes a lot of Corsairs out. The +1 hasn't quite finished yet. It's just about to finish now. And, well, those are going to be some very scary Corsairs. I'm kind of surprised they're actually retreating at this point. I would think that Favorite would rather just engage them. 5 +1 Corsairs can do a lot against stacked Mutalisks, but no, he's going to lose a couple of them in the retreat. These Dark Templar have somehow amazingly stayed alive this entire time, but not able to do anything. It's not a few Mutalisks. I mean, it's like 10 Mutalisks there. It's a good amount, but 5 +1 Corsair should be able to deal with anything in the air at this point. Anyway, well, he's going to be able to remax his numbers very quickly. He does have 2 Stargates. Storm almost done, but he doesn't. Yeah, he does have a High Templar. And this is going to be a pretty scary push coming out from Favorite, but Cole should be able to handle it. He's keeping his Corsairs very spread out. That's dangerous considering how many Scourge he's seen Cole have. But he's encountered a bunch of them, hasn't taken any hits yet, and now they're bunched up, so the Scourge are going to have a harder time. But here comes a lot of them. There we go, getting some nice Scourge hits now. And once again, going to run away from the Mutalisk pack. He injured them all to half health and then ran away. I think he could have taken out the entire pack there. Man, Favorite does not have a lot of confidence in his own Mutalisks. Well, Shuttle loaded up, 2 Dark Templar, 1 High Templar, 1 Zealot. But he's going to have a really hard time sneaking out. I mean, he's trying to sneak out the bottom. Boom, hit that Overlord. And it's going to hit that Scourge. Or not? I mean, I know Scourge have low sight range, but you can totally see to the edge. Did he put the Scourge on hold position? Okay, there's no way, right? No way. There we go. Okay, good. Is this one gonna hit? Okay. Alright, Cole figured it out. Very nice. Very nice. So, that makes this attack from Favorite a lot less scary. It's just a pack of speed lots with a good number of Mutalisks overhead. He's getting +2 Carapace. Interesting. I mean, that really does hurt those Corsairs, because the Corsairs fire so rapidly, and instead of doing 5 every time, they're going to be doing 3. But it's still very rare to see. Favorite, taking the mineral-only expansion in the front, wants to be able to get out a lot of Zealots. And, no, you didn't kill that Zergling? Cole spent a lot of money on his Mutalisk force, but he needs to be really careful with those storms. The Mutalisk can do a lot of damage, and Favorite doesn't exactly have anything to counter it. He only has a camp full of Dragoons, and then the Templar. But at the same time, if Cole isn't careful, they're all going to evaporate immediately. It's very much a glass cannon at this point. But Cole does need to do something soon, because this is a very large army from Favorite at this point. And here comes... Nope. Cole's going to attack them back out. I really don't think he needs to be that fearful of the Dragoons. They can't do that much damage. And... we're going to do something. Storm going down on its own units. That's fine. That's fine. And... I'm really not sure what Favorite's trying to do. He keeps sending his entire army to clear out this expansion, but he really doesn't need to continuously send everybody up there. He only needs to send a handful of guys. Cole doesn't have a huge ground army, and he certainly isn't keeping his huge ground army up there. Where's the Corsairs? He is building some, but I don't see the pack at this point. Anyway, trying to throw down a lot of cannons. The cannons should be able to finish. Favorite's going to be able to bring up goons one by one, and Cole not going to stick around though. I'm going to pull out now. Now there's a good number of goons there. Cole getting very fearful of the Dragoons, trying to stay away from them as much as possible. And it looks like those were the first 2 Corsairs, so we haven't been missing any. Well, if you ignore the fact that Cole got this huge pack of Mutalisks and been doing stuff with it, Cole's essentially just playing 4-base Turtle Zerg. Because he got on his 4 bases, and he's just been sitting on there and allowing Protoss to do whatever the heck it wants. And he's trying to do something with his Mutalisks, but he's been so fearful with them that not a lot of damage has been done, aside from killing off the Corsairs. Which, don't get me wrong, is nice, but it's not as if he's getting probe kills or anything. Anyway, is he on Hive yet? Yes, he's now on Hive Tech, getting the Greater Spire. And that's a very large pack of Mutalisks. I'd be surprised if it was... Is it just going to be all Guardian? He does have enough Scourge here that when the Corsairs come, he can just kill them off. Well, we'll see how effective the Guardians could be. Cole is very good with his Guardians, and this is going to be a huge pack. But Templars can take out Guardians pretty quickly. Ultralisk Cavern is down, but there are no Ultralisks out quite yet. And the Guardians have been morphed. It appears that they are all Guardians. He doesn't really have the unit composition to make some of them devours. And this is still a very scary army from Favorite, but Favorite's only on 3 bases, and they're 3 very close bases, so these Guardians could do a lot of damage very quickly. And here they come. They do have +2 armor, so they're +4, ridiculously beefy against the Corsairs. But Storm does not take armor into account. And let's see how much damage they can do. Geyser goes down very quickly. Cannon goes down very quickly. He's not even taking all of his Guardians. Why are you not using half your Guardians? I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to not allow them to all be stormed at the same time? But it's just going to mean it's a lot slower for him. That's the only reason I could think of. He just doesn't want them all to be stormed at the same time. But it's still rather peculiar. Well, I mean, maybe it'd work. Maybe it's going to work. Here come the Corsairs. Guardian's going to back up a little bit, and then the Scourge rush in. But nope, Corsairs doing a good job microing. Favorite's now pulling back his army. He really doesn't have a place to go with them. It isn't quite enough to break such heavy Sim cities, but at the same time, they're not exactly going to be very useful to defend the Guardians. But he's lost. He needs to use a Scourge now. I mean, the Corsairs aren't doing that much damage, but okay, you need to send in more than 2 at a time. Oh, here comes the rest of the Guardians. The Templar are all gone, so he doesn't really need to worry about Storm anymore. But these Scourge do need to help out their Guardian friends. Is he going in for the attack? No, he's not going in for the attack yet. He's contemplating it, but in the meantime, he's going to lose his natural. And he's not going to be able to get any reinforcements to help this out, because any reinforcements are going to have to run right through the Guardians, and the Guardians can do enough DPS to just kill them off immediately. Storm's going down. The Corsairs are actually more concerned about helping out the attacking force, so Favorite really needs to do a lot of damage with his attack, like take out both bases. I'm not sure if he has enough stuff. What's Cole making? Cole's making a lot of Overlords. Well, that's not exactly going to help. He has a lot of tech here, but not a lot of units. Guardians, meanwhile, have taken out everything in the natural. They can now go for either the main or the third. But it looks like Cole's going to lose his natural, too. We're going to have a base race situation going on, and a huge wave of humans coming out of the Nidus Canal. Is this going to be enough to turn the tide? There are a lot of Dragoons there, but Cracklings are pretty good versus Dragoons. There are a couple of Templar. They're not getting their storms down. They're conserving their storms. There are actually a lot of Templar. The Cracklings go down, though. The Ultralisks are going to go down, but yet another wave, and Storm, that was a whiff of a storm. Really didn't hit much, and then, oh no, he's using all of his storms up. He can't reinforce these Templar. He can't afford to just burn storms like that. And while he is going to survive that attack, it's not clear whether he's going to be able to survive the next wave from Cole. He needs to target that Nidus Canal to prevent more reinforcements from getting here. And yes, the Nidus Canal goes down. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? More Ultralisks popping, and just at the same time as the Zerglings come in. Very nice timing from Cole to get those to come in simultaneously. And yes, that attacking force is going to go down. How much progress have the Guardians made? The Guardians are doing exactly as I said. They're just going to sit on top and pick off units as they try to reinforce. And now that they could go and try to take out this base has been mined out, and Favorite's only on 1. GG from Favorite. Cole, is he going to get the reverse all kill? Is he going to get the reverse all kill? Well, only one way to find out. I don't have the next replay yet. There we go. The final replay, the final cast of the day. That's not what I wanted. Oops. Alright. Final set, final cast of the day. LRM's Cole versus Game? I don't know who the Smurf is. I want to say it's like Zero, because that's the only person I know with 3 Z's in their name. But maybe it's Game Smurf on Team NB. He's just like, fuck, I've amassed too many good players on LRM, so I'll never get to start. I need to go join some other team so I can get some playtime in too. Yep. So, Game versus Cole. ZVZ on... It looks like we're back to ground zero, coming around full circle. It's not Zero, I'm being told. Oh! There's a clan with ZZZ. Well, that makes sense, I guess. I still don't know who he is. And I mean, I've looked at the rosters enough, I can at least like, oh, I've never seen this person play, but at least I recognize the name. I'm now curious. NB. Oh. Well, I was wrong. There is a dude on their team. Apparently he's a random player. So Cole's gonna go 9 pool speed. I'm not sure if he went random this game. He didn't shout out his race, but I don't think there are any rules saying you have to. But Game went for 9 hatch. Game went 9 hatch. 9 hatch, and not even an in-base 9 hatch. It's a at-natural 9 hatch. That's not a build. You're only allowed to do 4 builds in ZVZ. That's it. There's only 4. You only have 4 options. And you didn't do one of those options. So now you're boned. Well, Cole's gonna go in the wrong direction. The spawning pool is just finishing up now, so the Zerglings might be out in time to save the hatchery from going down. But it's gonna be scouted by the Zergling now. He's gonna see the timing of the hatchery, and he should know that, like, he should be going, huh? That's not normal. But, yes, the Zerglings are just going to come out in the nick of time. Let's see if we can get this better surround here. Game has to come down the ramp, but nope, gets them all down the ramp, so that's not going to be an issue now. It looks like Cole has just slightly more Zerglings, and he did go for speed, which is going to help him out a lot. And Game's letting his hatchery get down. It's down below half health. And it does look like he has more, trying to go, oh, threatening to poke into the main, but not, oh, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to get in with 5 lings. Game was not paying enough attention, and now he has a real problem because he not only needs to micro intensively in his main to save drones, but he also needs to micro in his front to save the hatchery. Let's see how good his multitasking is. 1 drone goes down. Doesn't look like Cole lost all of his Zerglings up at the top. We saw that engagement, but Cole not bringing in more reinforcements. How close is his Spire? Spire just started. Compared to Game's Lair just starting. So Cole's going to have a significant timing advantage, but he doesn't have that second hatchery, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to take it down. But Game, with so few drones, can't afford to lose many of them to these Zerglings. So Cole just needs to continue to micro them. This is a huge advantage for him as long as he keeps them alive. Oh, losing 1. And Zerglings are out of position. Game sending all of his Zerglings. Game's going for the attack, leaving these 3 Zerglings still to attack the base. Is Cole going to be able to hold it off? He has a sunken, but he also has, but he's not keeping his Zerglings by. He's keeping his Zerglings at the ramp. Oh, I don't know if that's the correct decision. It might be because he's getting a good surround, but he doesn't have the sunken. Maybe he's going to do a combination of both. He's probably pulled back now. Yes, he's going to try to do both. Will he be able to survive long enough? The Spire is just finishing. He's making a bunch more Zerglings. Oh, he just needs to live a little bit longer. But no, the Zerglings aren't covering the sunken. Now the Zerglings are covering the sunken. No, they're not. Oh, man, another colony's being thrown down, but will it be in time? Looks like the first Sunken's going to go down, but he's lost most of his Zerglings. How much damage has been done? It looks like those few Zerglings were cleaned up eventually. And oh no! Oh, is he going to be able to hold it off? Is he going to be able to hold it off? More Zerglings are being rallied in. The Spire's been finished. Cole has no money. He doesn't have enough money for a single Mutalisk. And the Sunken goes down. And the Sunken goes down. And Cole, who can't afford... Oh, he did have a single Mutalisk. But he GG'd. Games. Preventing the Cole reverse all kill. Oh, man. Cole. So close. Oh. So, very nice games today. Very nice games. But there are more good games to come. On Sunday, I believe I'm doing another cast. It is DM versus IWL. I believe. Yes, DM versus IWL. Hopefully DM has players this time around. That'd be nice. But even more exciting than that, tomorrow, opening qualifier of ISL 3. Yeah, I'm so pumped. I was so pumped, and then I thought I was casting last week, and I was getting pumped all week, and then I found out, oh, I got the week wrong. And I was so bummed, but now all of that excitement has just like festered into like it's like alcohol. It's like fermented into excitement alcohol. And that is how I feel about casting the opening round of ISL 3. Check out the bracket. There are some good people. It's going to be awesome. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Twitch TV, Nerbopolis, and Prowler. Thank you to the organizer, Awa. See you guys tomorrow.